Hi, everybody. Welcome to our webinar for today. We are featuring the Vinteum software company, and we are focusing on architectural requests. She's calling it Simplified. They're not always simple, but it's an awesome topic because when the fit hits the shan, like the hurricanes, we need to know more about what to do to store our products. I thought I'd open up with some trivia today, just regarding architecture in general. Uh, did you know architecture is over 10,000 years old? I had no idea. I looked this up trivia wise. And one of the first architectural buildings that came up was the Olympic Stadium, the very first Olympic Stadium. So I thought that was really cool to hear. And let's see, when does that go back to? That goes way back. Uh, the next thing I thought was interesting is that there was a university built, the Cooper University, and let me see where that's located. That's in New York City. They had the first elevator shaft going back to 1857. So that's pretty interesting trivia. The guy that developed it actually developed it in 1852. And then we all heard of the Great Wall of China. That took 2,600 years of architecture plans and so on, starting in 220 BC, all the way up to 1878 when they finished it. So it's 2,600 years. And the last thing I thought was kind of funny that I wanted to mention is that, let's see, the supervisor of the Ouija board company, the one that does the spooky things, fell to his death from the roof of a factory when the board told him what to do. So watch out for the Ouija board, right? With that, we're going to move into introducing our sponsors. We have three on today, but then I'm going to mention all the rest of them. And I'm going to start with who got on first, which was Shawnee Haas. Shawnee, she is with Muniz Contractors. Tell us what you do and how your company's doing.
Thank you, Peggy. So I'm with Muniz. We are a painting contractor based in Tampa, Florida, but we cover the entire state of Florida. We have offices in West Palm Beach, Fort Myers, Orlando, anywhere in Florida we can reach it. We offer various types of painting, from interior to exterior painting, as well as electrostatic painting, which is a specialized type of painting for railings and such. We've been in business for 75 years and we are third generation owned and operated. So we are well familiar with the Florida weather and what in different environments, whether you're on the beach, whether you're inland, we know how to paint it. We know how the special needs that your community needs to handle the different types of rough Florida weather. Um, yeah, we've been supporting the entire state of Florida for 75 years, working with commercial HOAs and condos. So we pretty much know what we're doing and know how to do about everything. So if you're
Awesome.
looking for a paint project, we also offer free proposals as well. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So if you've been on my webinars before, you know this. If not, I'm going to tell you that I provide a sponsor sheet. And after the webinar, I send out everybody's contact information of all of today's sponsors. Next, I want to introduce Bob Aleka. He is with Faster.io. Bob, tell us about the company and yourself.
Thanks, Peggy. Good afternoon, all. Bob Aleka here with Faster.io. We've been building, managing, and maintaining fiber optic infrastructures for almost 25 years. What makes us different is that we use an architecture called active optical network opposed to passive optical network. The difference is that the passive optical network is a shared network among your community, and an active optical network is an individual fiber optic line where everybody has their own circuit to their home. It is not a shared system, which is very important today with artificial intelligence for security and privacy. In addition, our TV product is a streaming product. You can take it anywhere you go. You can change your address, get the locals of that zip code, change it back. You get 20 streams, meaning you can have 20 concurrent TVs, iPhones, iPads, whatever you want watching at the same time. And no community is too small for us. So if you think you're too small to get a fiber optic proposal, give me a shout. I'll put my information in the chat, and let's talk and enjoy the seminar.
Great. Thank you, Bob. Next, I want to introduce the new vice president for Best Roofing. We have a Diana Olert on today. She's been with the company a long time. So what is going on now with Best Roofing?
A lot. We're growing,
Yeah.
we're expanding. We are covering the whole state now. So if you need anything, no matter where you are in Florida, we're able to help you. We also started this year doing residential as well. So we're not only a commercial company anymore. We do residential repairs. We do roofs. We do commercial. We do high rises, industrial. So we cover absolutely every single vertical out there. And if you need anything from us, I'm gonna put my information there. I know Peggy also sent the sheet with all the information from us, so we cannot help you with anything. We can offer you for being part of these today a free roof estimate. So if at any point you feel like you want to know exactly where you stand, call me. I'll be more than happy to send an inspector. Be sure that we guide you through the process, give you the right information, and get you ready for whatever is coming. We will either tell you you can still extend the life of your roof, or like it's nothing we can do, but get you prepared for it and give you some numbers so you also have that for your budget next year. So if you need anything, let me know. Thank you so much for being here today.
Absolutely. One thing I want to add to what you do is they do a monthly maintenance program where they'll come out to, take a look at your roof and keep your paperwork up, because when you go to make a claim, you better have some pictures, right, Diana? And that is one thing that is huge in the state of Florida with our hurricane season. So some of those new areas, you might take a look at Best Roofing coming in, maybe even dealing with somebody else, but take a look at what they do, because I know here down in South Florida, they do an awesome job and they have an excellent reputation. So
Yes, and
definitely.
not only we keep the records for us and for you, but we also keep the records for the manufacturer. So at some
Well,
point, you need to prove to the manufacturer something that you were doing a maintenance, so they don't void your guarantee. We can help you with those paperwork. And when the time comes, if we do already your maintenance, we will remind you. You don't have to remember. Like each year, we'll let you know, hey, your maintenance is coming up. So it's not something that you have to worry about.
okay, awesome. And that's why she's a vice president, because she knows all of this information. So reach out to her off the sponsor sheet. I don't know if he's on, but he normally is. Is Daniel Baum on from COA Solutions? I don't see him. He may have had an appointment. Daniel is the founder and CEO. He's an insurance brokerage, heavily involved and specific to condominium and homeowner association policies. So he will take a look at your policy and see if he can help you, save you money, or maybe see if you can improve with the carrier that you have. We also have Siobhan Gonzalez. She's with United Professional Engineering, longtime sponsor. They are doing everything from milestone, phase 1, phase 2, and project management and owner's representative projects as well. So if you need anything in those areas for your construction projects, please reach out to Siobhan. Her owner is Carmelo Giglio. Carmelo is a former past president of 2 times for the state of Florida Structural Engineering Association. So he's very qualified. He also carries one of the few licenses in the state of Florida for doing inspections, which is huge. We also have PD Concrete. The contact there is the president, Daniel Pena. Been in business over 20 years. Him and his son actually take a lot of the phone calls for the sales, but he does an outstanding job with the concrete restoration. We also have First Citizens Bank as a sponsor. Jamie Gelfand is the Southeast or Eastern Coast representative, vice president, and she can help you with anything to do with lending, especially if you need to get prepared for your hurricane season. They also do not require that you switch your banking for your payment processing. So you can get a loan with them without switching everything. You can also keep your deposits and everything else with the current company that you have for investments. On the West Coast for First Citizens Bank, we have Deneen Barnum, and she will also be on that sponsor sheet. We also have Hafer Company, full service CPA firm based out of Southeast Florida over here in Palm Beach Island. However, they do have 4 offices around the state, and the contact there is Nicole. So anything to do with CPA firms. City Quiet and Windows is also a long time sponsor for us, and we have Ben Friedman. He is the president. He would be your contact. Again, 4 offices around the state of Florida. We also have a Legacy Life Plan. Legacy Life Plan is owned and operated by a local attorney in Boca Raton, Dalia Anise, and she has some good information regarding, things to do with final arrangements, etc. We also have WRG, that's the Water Restoration Group. Erin Nickerson is the contact there. She just moved over to WRG, and you would reach out to her. We also have Brooke Cavender from Southwest Elevator. She is handling the state of Florida from a management team position, and she is available for appointments. It's a great time to look at your elevators now. Again, it's hurricane season to see, what's happening. We also have the paving lady. Dawn Miller's the contact there, and Mauro Camuzzi, the owner, has been in the business for many years, 35 years plus, and they do an excellent job. They are now from Orlando over to the East Coast and south down to the Miami area. Last and certainly but not least, I want to welcome a new sponsor, Ball Janik. We have a couple of people on today. We have Diego. If you'll wave a little bit, he is the marketing team beneath the wings of Eduardo Romero. And Eduardo, why don't you tell us about what you're doing and what does Ball Janik do specific, which is different from all the regular condo attorneys?
Thanks, Peggy. Hi, everyone. My name is Eduardo Romero. I am the Business Development Manager for Bojanic. We are a construction defect and insurance recovery attorneys. We help many different property managers from HOH, condos, multifamilies, commercials. We help them identifying any defect that they might have. There are 2 kind of defects that we can identify. They're the ones that you can see, and the other ones that are only expert engineers can find it. We work with them. We do free inspections to properties that they qualify. And as I mentioned to everyone, our job is pretty much educating people about these preventions that we can do with identifying construction defect. We have offices in Miami, Broward, Sarasota, Tampa, Orlando, and soon in the Panhandle. And yeah, so thank you for inviting me to this webinar. And if you have any questions, you can always look at bojanic.com, our website, or our LinkedIn, so you can see many of the different events that we do and the classes as well. That's one of the most important parts is educating different property management teams and providing more information so you guys are prepared. And everything that we do is free consultation, free inspections. So let's connect. So I'll be happy to help.
Sounds great. Awesome. And welcome again.
Thank you.
And I wanted to say a couple things before we turn it over to Laura. For housekeeping, be sure and put your questions into the Q&A box. We do record it. We are recording now. We do not record the chat box. So if you put a question in there and we don't get to it, Laura will be able to get back to you. And also one of her new team members I want to introduce today is Carol from Vinteum. Carol, did you want to say a few words?
I could just say hi. If you
Okay.
need me, I'll be
All right.
here.
Welcome, welcome. She's in the sales department with Laura. And I want to say thank you to Paola for all that you do when beneath my wings. And I'll stop talking, turn it over to you, Laura Malagon. She is the head of sales for Vinteum Software International. And good luck today's webinar.
Thank you very much, Peggy. Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. I truly appreciate everybody's presence here. We're going to make it as efficient and productive as possible so we can give you the best information and the best resources for all of you who attended here and want to, improve your knowledge about how to better manage your community. So let's get started. I'm going to share my screen. I would really appreciate if you guys let me know you're able to see it. Okay. All right. Are you guys able to see it? Perfect.
There we go. We got you.
Thank you very much, Peggy. Okay, so we're going to talk today about architectural requests without the chaos, how to protect, communicate, clearly document every decision, and how to better, how to improve this process that sometimes can be, or become a little bit of a headache for board members or property managers, and how to make this, a lot easier for all of us, and also how to engage with residents when these type of things are happening. So let's start. Okay. Okay, this is going to be the agenda for today. We're going to talk about how to protect community standards, how to reduce delays and disputes, and 3, create a clear process for board managers and homeowners when it comes to architectural requests. Okay. So let's start. Okay. So first off, architectural reviews helps communities to all of these points that you see right here. Now, architectural review, it's not only about, aesthetics, it helps the association protect its standards and ensure that similar requests receive similar treatment. So as you see here, what does this help? It maintains a consistent appearance, it apply governance documents fairly, it prevents unsafe or unauthorized work, it protects the neighboring properties and common areas, and will definitely support the community's long-term value for not just the community itself, but for every single unit that you have. Now, where can this process fail? Where does it usually fails in most communities? The biggest problem is usually not the request itself. It's that the information is spread across paper files, emails, text messages, personal accounts. When you guys don't have a system or a place, hopefully digital, to save documents, to have a specific, step-by-step on how this architectural request will work. But instead of that, you have, everything goes to an email inbox or everything is through paper. This might cause a little bit of, again, a problem, or will, take way more time than usual, or you might lose some paperwork or some emails on your inbox that will go to your spam. So that will usually, create a bigger of a problem than what an architectural request could be. So, oh, sorry. I think someone sent something on the chat. Okay, no, that's fine. Okay. So as you see here on the screen, this can happen when paper forms are misplaced, photos arrive in separate emails, applications are incomplete, the forms are not easy to follow for residents. You want to make things easier and more efficient, not only for you guys as board members, administrators, or property managers, but also for your residents or for your homeowners. It's okay. Now, You guys can start taking note if you want. We will obviously send this material to all of you, but these are some, tips. So again, the process is a lot easier for you. So every request should include property and homeowner information, project description, photos of the current area, plans or drawings, material colors and dimensions, contractor information, project timeline, permit information when required. A standardized form prevents the committee from repeatedly asking for basic information. The form should always reflect the type of project being requested. So a fence application, for example, might require height, material, color, and a survey showing the proposed location. So it's best if you guys take, before you have set up the process for the architectural request, who is going to be in charge of it, where to send it, how to send it. It's best for you guys to take a few minutes prior, maybe, a little bit or a few hours, so you guys can try to build templates for each type of architectural request that you would have within your community. So you already have a standardized process that it's easy for you to, approve, and it's easy for the residents to follow or to fill. Okay, okay. So before reviewing the request, these are steps that, again, we advise you to follow. An incomplete request should, be returned before formal review. Tell the homeowner exactly what is missing instead of simply asking for more information. You got to be as specific as possible. Make sure plans and photos are readable. Identify missing permits or specifications. And record when the complete request has been was received. You want to make sure you have your dates, you have all this information in hand, so that if you want to check when was this request sent, when was this approved, what's the due date, you have all that information just in case, the resident or the vendor or the other board members ask. So now, okay, so review the request against CC&Rs and governing documents, architectural guidelines, previous similar decisions, safety requirements, local permits and building codes, common area and neighboring property impacts. Approvals and denials should be based on grading and consistently applied standards, not personal preferences. So if at some point you are the one who is in charge of reviewing these architectural requests, and you might not know, or you might not be 100% sure what the response should be or what the next step should be, we would only advise you to ask, whether the board would make the same decision for another homeowner submitting the same request, and also making sure that actually when you ask the other board members, or when you take a look at it with maybe some other people involved, it will help you have an objective point of view of that architectural request and if it should be or not denial or approved. Now, when it comes to making the decision clear, you got to have a specific status. So again, everything is as clear. Oh, sorry, Peggy, you raised your hand.
Yes, on a couple of slides before, I just wanted to comment how important it is when it's the one before that. The last one says record when the complete request.
Oh, sorry. There you go.
Was received. This is huge because when it comes to file claims and things like this, if they don't think you had your photos before, or they don't think you had your information before, then they're going to dispute any damages after a claim. So recording information is huge. And just to mention, if you aren't aware, some new board members might be on, if you're in a condominium and you have 25 units or more, you must have a website, and this website can store all this information. So just want to remind everybody to record, prior to these events, these storms and so on.
Thank you very much, Peggy. Okay, so let's continue here. All right. Okay, so making the decision clear. Again, keeping the clearest and most transparent and accurate information to your residents is gonna save you guys from a lot of headaches, claims, or maybe misinformation that would lead to a bigger snowball at the end of the day. So you guys need to make sure that the status of the architectural request is updated on real, hopefully on real time, so the residents can follow up on that if it's being approved with conditions, if you need additional information, or if it was simply denied. If you do have those status, on whichever, system or program you have in order to have a specific process for this architectural request, every response should also explain, why was that decided, why was decided, which guideline applies, what the homeowner should do next. You got to be very specific also, and you got to give not only the status, but also why was that status to the resident, so they know exactly what's next, what's there to follow. Why was my architectural request denied, and what can I do after? Or should I change the form? I didn't add the right documents or photos that you guys requested? Because if not, this is gonna, it's gonna take longer than usual. And again, the more clear, the more specific, the more you build and you give all the tools to the residents to just fill in the forms or to just know exactly what documents to send you, the easier the process will be. Okay. Of course, keep homeowners informed with updates. The best you communicate with your homeowners and or residents, the more engaged they're gonna feel. The more they will feel that you guys are on top of their architectural requests or their service requests overall. That they can reach you guys. That you guys know exactly how the process is. They will trust you guys as board members or as a property manager or as an administrator of your community overall. And again, this will make sure residents and homeowners feel good within the community, and this will avoid any type of conflicts. So now we're going to talk about something that Peggy mentioned before, and how a centralized platform can help associations not only with keeping this process easier, but also to be compliant, also to have everything in one single place. So if at some point, again, if a claim comes in, if there are some, problems during the process of the architectural maintenance or anything like that, you don't have to go into a pile of files on your office, or you don't have to, send a bunch of emails, review your spam or the emails you've already are already marked as read, and waste time, feel stressed. You can save all of that and just have everything organized in one single place. Also, there are other tools or resources that I will also show you on how they can make your life easier when it comes to, for example, build specific forms. Maybe you guys in your community or with the vendors or the contractors you work, you might have, or they might need you to fill in very specific forms. They need a specific information. They need those forms to be signed, to have the signature of the person who is filling them, just in case you guys avoid any type of, again, problem or claim at the end. So tools like Jotform, for example, I'll show you in a few seconds how that would work, can help this process be a lot easier, not only for you, but also for the vendors and for the contractors that will assist you on the architectural maintenance requests that your residents or homeowners have. So let me show you real quick an example. Okay, sorry. So right now what I'm going to show you guys is how, hopefully the system you have or the program you have can, will have in order to help you be compliant, or at least to make this architectural request process as easy, as transparent and clear as possible, and also to save you guys from future claims or inconveniences. So for example, here on Neighbors, which is a community management software tool that we have here at Vinteum, we have a specific feature. Hopefully this is what you guys have, a specific tool feature that works for, service requests. In this case, architectural or maintenance requests. So as you guys see here, when you are administrators on this tool, you're able to see what the specific subject is about, who requested for it, what was the date that this was sent to you guys, the status of it. So as you see, we have very specific status like rejected, open, approved, waiting for a requester, or closed. Also, you can, set up a priority for it. So whoever is in charge of, checking this request knows which one is the highest priority and needs to have a constant follow-up. The days that this request has been open and the due date. Now, also, for example, hey, I got an architectural request from unit 201, but they didn't fill in or they didn't send the right information. I need to go back to them and ask them to send me new documents, new photos, or the photos weren't clear, or the format didn't open, or I'm missing the signature in the form that I will show you in a few seconds. How do I go back to them and maybe not having to send another email or do it on a personal chat or on the chat on the platform, but keep it within the request or within the process so everything's easier and faster and more efficient? For example, here you would have the option to view the request. And again, if you do need to send this, to the requester, hey, I need you to please go ahead and send me more information or send me more documents, you can reply to that requester here. You can ask them, I need you to please send me, documents and photos. This is, just an example. I can even attach examples if I want to make this easier for the resident, and I can send the message. This person will receive a notification that on that same request that they sent, they're getting a message by whoever is in charge asking them about, documents or photos or any additional information. So that way, even the communication is still in the same place, in the same request. So, you do not get lost in a lot of tools or emails or, so this is one thing. And now when it comes to the forms, so again, if your vendor, you're within your community or the contractor that's going to help you with the architectural maintenance has any specific things that you need to fill in, or again, they need to have a signature, they need to have some, boxes fill in with specific information, I would suggest to you to again have some sort of templates prior to build a process of architectural requests, so you make everything easier for your residents. So for example, we have a tool here that's called Jotforms. Probably some of you are already familiar with Jotforms. This is a really nice tool to build, personalized or customizable forms so that people can fill them easily. So for example, here, we already have those Jotforms tools integrated in the system, which is a plus and a lot easier for not only for members or property managers, but also for residents. So if that's the case, or if you need to edit the forms and add more boxes, add more information to be filled in, it's going to pop up like this, basically. And the good thing about it is that if you do need a signature for a lot of these forms and, changes that need to be done in a unit, there you can have it as well. So you will be, saving yourself from any type of, inconveniences because the person has already signed those forms with whatever information or architectural request they sent. As you see, you can have boxes such as, regular info, email, phone number, building street, unit, date, what architectural change would you like to make? Do you have any additional comments or suggestions? the documents that they need to upload, which is as easy as just press here and they can add PDFs, words, images, etc. And this is just an example and just a model of a form that you can actually build, customize, and change depending on what you guys need. Okay? Now, going back to the presentation, keep a complete record of, and it's something that, again, Peggy mentioned, original application, photos and plans, revised documents, committee questions and notes, homeowner responses, approval or denial notice, conditions of approval, final inspection records. So actually on tools like service requests, like the one I just showed you, you will already have some of these boxes checked. But when it comes to documents, again, it's best for you guys to have a place where all documents can be stored digitally instead of paper. I know some of you guys might still, doing the process, let's say physical. So you have a lot of papers, folders within your community or in your office. But from now on, I will highly suggest you guys to keep everything digitalized. Why? Because this saves you time. This helps you guys having everything in just one single place and more accessible for everyone or for new board members that are coming in the future. Also, if anything happens when it comes to maybe, especially in hurricane season, or if something happens within the office, those papers are not gonna go missing or damaged. They're gonna have everything digitalized. So it's best for you guys to keep everything in one single place. That's maybe like a portal or the website, hopefully. Something like that, where you can have all documents here. So insurance and risk management, you can have folders for a specific architectural request sent by your residents or homeowners. So again, you keep everything in one single place. Okay. Yes, Peggy, sorry. I didn't see you raise your hand.
That's all right. No, I just wanted to comment that one of the reasons why I am so high on Vinteum is that they will train you one-on-one. So all these may look complicated, all these documents and so on she's shown in a previous slide, but a lot of it's common sense. So when they're training you, they're going to say, okay, if you're looking for this form, this is what it looks like. If you're looking for that form, this is what it looks like. And they will walk each of you board members individually through it, or as a group board meeting conference call, or even the residents, somebody calls in. So don't be afraid of this technology. It's so great to have everything in the cloud on this website and handy. So I definitely wanted to reiterate that for you.
Thank you very much, Peggy. I really appreciate that you took these really nice insights in. I know sometimes, and following to what Peggy said, going digital or changing, the processes to digital processes and so on might feel really overwhelming, especially for, people who are not really tech savvy, or we've worked with people who even have still flip phones. So trust me when I say that we know exactly how overwhelming, how difficult this process can seem. But with the right support, with the right tools, things will be a lot easier. Things will be, easy to digest, to learn. And this was made so that anybody, even people who are not that tech savvy, can learn in a really fast, can just learn it in a really fast environment without it feel very hard to use. These tools are something that, not only help you guys be compliant, but again, make your life a lot easier. This is not meant to give you more tasks or headaches, but actually to take off those ones from you. So going back to the presentation, this is just a review of a workflow of like steps that you should follow in order to have this architectural request be easier. So first, homeowner submits the request. 2, management verifies completeness. 3, committee reviews the application. 4, questions and updates are documented. 5, decision is communicated. 6, final inspection is completed. And then 7, request is closed and stored. As we mentioned, a centralized platform can help associations collect online forms, require the correct information, store photos and documents together, track each request status, communicate with homeowners, and maintain the complete decision history. So again, if you do maintain a complete history, the system shows you specifically the dates that the comments were made, that the documents were sent, that the request was sent, that the request was approved or denied, the easier it will be for you guys to follow up on every single of the requests of every resident or homeowner of your community.
Can I make one more comment?
Sure.
One thing I wanted to say is when I solicit the various sponsors to be a part of these webinars, I do it very intentionally. And today we have a new sponsor on from Volganic. Volganic is an experienced construction defect attorney firm, been around for a long time. And the reason why I solicited them is because when you need somebody like them for follow-up or for filing claims or whatever, looking at the contract and so on, if you have this system, what Laura's explaining to you, all you have to do is go to the computer, click a box, and email the whole file directly to the attorney. So you don't have to go through your file cabinets and look up who did this and who did that and did they turn it in, a board changed, who followed up, who didn't follow up, and on and on and on. It's all in one neat package for really everything. But when it comes to architectural, this is critical because let's say they submitted it today, but let's say there was a delay. Let's say they decided not to do it for a year or two. You can resurrect files. You can, make this is so easy to use. And I highly encourage everybody to take a look at how to store files electronically and in the cloud. And Laura's going to help you with all that. And now Carol.
Thank you very much, Peggy. Okay, I believe that's it for the presentation. We're having this open floor for questions and discussions, so you guys can, if you have any type of questions about the system or the tips that we gave you here on this webinar, you can go ahead and send them on the box. Paola will help me double check if people
I have a question that came up. The question is, when a property changes owners and a second or third owner submits an ARC request, will the file stay with the unit, street address versus the owner name? So I think you can set that up custom, right? You can say
will the file stay with the unit or its street address versus an owner name. Well, will the file stay with the unit?
Like, in other words, will it stay with unit 222 or will it stay under John Brown?
No, the file will probably stay with the unit because the changes are being done to the unit. So regardless, I mean, what usually we care about is like who is the owner of the unit. So the file will stay with the unit, so you actually, as an owner, know exactly what type of things have been done prior to that specific unit, so you know exactly where to go. Because if you don't have the story, what has been done, what type of changes have been done, what type of changes can you done after that has been done, then it can lead to complications, especially if it's a maintenance thing that is really specific. So no, the file will definitely stay to the unit rather than just the owner.
I'm glad that was the answer.
Okay.
So, we really don't have any more questions. I'm going to leave it back to the audience. We have quite a few on today, about 3/4 of the people that registered, and we really appreciate you getting on today. And I'm sure if you did get on today, because it's not a CEU course, you do have some specific interests in some of these items. I believe that Laura and her team will be sending out a follow-up for, possible demos or appointments. They're free. Take advantage of it. Great presentation, Laura. I mean, it's so
Definitely.
easy to say something, but when you see it like you displayed it, it really, can resonate of how easy it can be to use a website, period. But I think you guys is one of the best, as actually supported by one of the castle management former managers that I know, actually a former VP, who said just in the area or in the industry, you guys are second to none. You have some great features, and it would be, just open to a conversation to talk to Laura and set up an appointment and just run through anything that you have a question about and do a quick demo. What does it take? About 15 minutes, 30 minutes to do a demo?
Yes. So if any of you guys have any, additional questions or want to look further into like the features or the program, because I know we might not, and as I believe it's Brenda mentioned, there might be things that we didn't really touch here because it will, leave us to a way longer webinar here. You can definitely give me your information on the chat, or we will also send it here. These demos could take from 15 minutes to an hour, depending on what you guys are specifically looking for your community, what you guys need, what is it that you want to, dig a little bit more into, especially for architectural requests or for any type of other request or process that you need to make more efficient within your community. So we'll send the information here. You can definitely have a demo with me in order to review the system and to see further how does the system work, and also how the support and training works for you guys.
Absolutely. Okay. Brenda's wanting you to give a call, so it'll be on the recording. So they want to possibly set up a demo. And again, I cannot tell you how easy it is to use Vinteum. It's just an awesome, awesome website. I wouldn't say that if I didn't believe in it. So with that, Carol, did you have anything you wanted to say in closing comments?
Not much today, thank you.
Okay. All right. Laura, did you have any final words, or?
No, I believe this was it. I believe we don't have any more questions on the chat.
Okay.
Let me just double check. I see there's people that want me to contact them. I will definitely go ahead and reach you guys. And all I want to say is thank you very much. I really appreciate you guys' presence here and your commitment, not only to the community, but also to your teams, your teammates on the board. Again, if you have any other questions or inquiries about the system, please reach us, or
Absolutely. Okay, I'm going to close it out then. Again, I am Peggy West. I'm the organizer and was today's moderator, but I didn't have very many questions for you, but hope I helped a little bit. I want to mention some of the upcoming and valuable webinars I feel are valuable, especially with closing of the renewal for CAM licenses. Tomorrow, I have an IFM CEU credited course. IFM credits are hard to get. I myself is a licensed CAM. I've been searching around, and so I have tomorrow a 2026 Condo Reserve and Lending Update by K7. K7 is a reserve company, and they have a representative over here on the East Coast, and they're based out of the West Coast. And they have solicited Jody Horn. She is the single family collateral risk management and Fannie Mae contact or specialist. So laws changed with Fannie Mae the past year. So if you want to get an update on Fannie Mae, so it doesn't hold up any of your condo sales or can help you with condo sales, please get on tomorrow, get the update, and hear what Jody has to say. She's going to be on the panel. Then followed by that, I have my next webinar is actually coming up the 19th. Now, this is also very valuable. I don't know if any HOA members are on out there, but there's an EH1 course and an EH2 course. These are financial classes. I've got Tom Ingbaum, Dr. Tom Ingbaum, coming on from First Citizens Bank. He's going to give the EH1 course on the 19th, again, virtually. Followed by that, on August 21st, I have a construction summit, the 8th one for the year. This was a new series we put together this year for all the people out there doing construction. The main guest speaker is with an engineering firm called Stone Building. But we also have on the panel Ball Janik. We have Stephen Houtman, Esquire. He is the attorney that's going to be for the consul. And we also have Valley Bank on there. So Valley Bank will be there in support of this financial course and understanding more about budgets and so on for project management planning. Like I said, we also have another course coming up by Ball Janik. We've got Peggy Vivas coming. She is the head of sales or business development manager for the state of Florida for Ball Janik. And then we're also going to close out the month on the 28th with a Tampa-centric webinar, which is going to be with the EMT director, John Antapasis. He is going to put on a special webinar along with Steve Mason from Altieri, and that's going to be on public adjustment and hurricane preparedness, but more specific to hurricane public adjusting ways to maybe get more money if you do have a disaster. So lots of things planned for this month. I cannot thank you enough. I really appreciate everybody that's on and for choosing our webinars. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Eduardo.
Thank you,
Paola.
Peggy. Thank you, everyone.